Chu Tianxuan also grasped Jiang Shenner's weakness. Because he knew that she needed money and a stable job. The company treatment of Shengtian Group is quite good. If she leaves Shengtian Group, Chu Tianxuan thinks that Jiang Shenner should not find a company with such a high salary. Yes. But can she guarantee that the bosses of other companies are as good to their employees as he is? Her mother was hospitalized, the medical expenses were paid for her, and a nurse was specially hired to help her take care of her mother in the evening. He's talking about work. She doesn't have anything to do. It's better to let her go back. Why should she stay? Jiang Shenner is not satisfied with Chu Tianxuan, but what can he do? If the boss doesn't go, she won't want to leave. She can only stay next to Chu Tianxuan and listen to their conversation. When she was bored, Jiang Shenner took out her notebook and pen from her bag. Seeing Chu Tianxuan's face change greatly, Jiang Shenner knew that what she had just said made him angry. He quickly smeared oil on the soles of his feet and slipped away. Who told him to do that to her? He can only make fun of others' personal safety, but others are not allowed to make fun of him. Isn't this a typical case where only state officials are allowed to set fire and people are not allowed to light lights? Jiang Shenner, you can avoid the first day of junior high school and the 15th day of junior high school, unless you don't go to work in the company tomorrow. Chu Tianxuan shouted to Jiang Shenner, who ran away. The woman was so unreasonable that she dared to curse him in front of him. Chu Tianxuan thinks she's tired of living, or she thinks she's too comfortable in the company. Should she find fault with her? Jiang Shenner, who ran into the hospital in one breath, didn't hear what Chu Tianxuan said at all. Chu Tianxuan drives away from the hospital. Jiang Shenner pushes open the door of the ward, and Jiang's mother in the ward has fallen asleep. Jiang Shenner walked gently to the hospital bed and helped Jiang's mother gently cover her with a quilt. Although she was careful, she woke up Jiang's sleeping mother. "Mom, did you wake you up?" Jiang Shenner asked in a low voice. Jiang's mother always sleeps lightly. Her daughter hasn't come to see her so late tonight. She's worried that something might happen to her, or she still works overtime in the company. Now the burden of the family falls on her alone. Her daughter, who has been carefully cared for by her parents, has to bear so much at once. Although Jiang's mother is in the hospital, her heart has always been on Jiang Shenner, worried about her. "Shenner, you're here. Why did you come so late today? Did you work late?" Looking at her daughter's thin face, Jiang's mother was distressed. She lives in the hospital every day and spends money every day. Her daughter's salary can't afford the expensive medical expenses and hospitalization expenses. "No, my colleague asked me to go to a party with him today, so I came back a little late." "Mom, is it worrying you?" Jiang Shenner knew that her mother must be worried about her. The doctor said that mother can't worry too much. It's best to do anything without asking, which is better for her condition. "Shenner, are you tired from your work? You look thin." Jiang's mother raised her hand and touched Jiang Shenner's face. Her eyes were full of heartache. "How nice to be thin. It makes your daughter more beautiful, doesn't it?" In order not to let her mother worry about herself, Jiang Shenner deliberately joked. "My Shenner is the most beautiful." Jiang's mother was amused by Jiang Shenner's words. "Mom, it's getting late. The doctor said you can stay up late. Let's have a rest early." Jiang Shenner helped Jiang's mother lie down and helped her cover the quilt. Jiang Shenner wished her mother didn't have a terminal illness, so she could always accompany her and watch her get married and have children. Although the days are not as good as before, as long as her mother doesn't get sick. Jiang Shenner believes that she will make her mother live a good life by working hard. Shenner, you don't have to sleep by the bed tonight. Come up and sleep with your mother. You can't sleep well. You have to go to work tomorrow. You should sleep better when you squeeze with your mother. Jiang's mother moved some seats and asked Jiang Shenner to come up. She loved her daughter's work during the day and came to the hospital to take care of herself at night. If this goes on for a long time, how can the body bear it? Mom, leave me alone. I can sleep well like this. Besides, I have a lunch break in the company every noon. The hospital bed is small. If they squeeze up again, both of them will not sleep well. It's been such a long time. Jiang Shenner has been used to a lot since he was not used to it. Jiang Shenner pressed Jiang's mother on the hospital bed and told her to stop talking and sleep with her eyes closed. Jiang's mother knows her daughter's temper. If she insists on letting her sleep together in bed, her daughter will be angry and ignore her. She could only listen to her daughter, close her eyes, and soon fell asleep. Jiang Shenner watched Jiang's mother sleep and saw that her mother's face was as pale as a piece of white paper. Mother's face is getting worse day by day. She knows that her mother must be secretly sad every day. She just didn't show it in front of her. Just like her, no matter how sad her heart is, she will never show it in front of her mother. Jiang Shenner always smiles in front of her mother. As long as her mother sees her smile, a smile will appear on her face. So many things have happened at home recently that the company is about to close down. And my father died in an accident because of the company. Now mother doesn't have much time. In fact, Jiang Xian's son can't bear it for a long time. But there is still her mother. At least she has a glimmer of hope. She doesn't have nothing. She has her mother. As long as her mother is still there, she will bite her teeth and stick to it. Thinking that so many things had happened one after another recently, the blow was more and more serious, and Jiang Xian's eyes couldn't help crying. She only secretly shed tears in the dead of night. Chu Tianxuan drove all the way home. When he was about to open the door and get off, he suddenly saw something under the co-pilot's seat in the corner of his eye. He bent down and picked it up. Isn't this Jiang Xian's notepad in the daytime? Why is it in his car? Chu Tianxuan remembered why he was in his car. He threw his notepad on his seat, but in front of him, Jiang Shenner unconsciously appeared to bow his head and concentrate on taking notes at the party. Curiosity is causing trouble. Chu Tianxuan suddenly wants to know whether all the notes made by Jiang Shenner are the focus. With her intelligence quotient, how could she suddenly remember to take notes? He decided to look through it. It was just a note. It wasn't something private that couldn't be seen. Chu Tianxuan thought it was nothing. It should be no problem to look through it without her consent. Anyway, after reading it, Jiang Shenner didn't know. Chu Tianxuan opened his notepad and looked through it. There are no notes made by Jiang Shenner here. It's just her scribbling. Chu Tianxuan thought that when Jiang Shenner suddenly became so enlightened and knew that she could take notes. It seems that he thought too much. Just as he was about to throw the notepad aside, he inadvertently turned over and saw something painted on the middle pages of the notepad. He looked again. When Chu Tianxuan looked at Jiang Shenner's masterpiece today, his face became darker and darker. This is the note she made today. Chu Tianxuan was so angry that he wanted to tear the notebook to pieces and beat Jiang Shenner up. Jiang Shenner's courage is really not small. She is impatient to live. She dares to treat him as a pig. She draws more than one. Chu Tianxuan wrote down this account and will wait and see tomorrow. He won't settle it with her. If you don't give her some color to see, she really doesn't know that heaven is high and earth is thick. No woman has ever dared to treat him like this. Jiang Xianer is the first. Jiang Xianer, wait for me. I'll make you regret it. Don't beg me at that time. Chu Tianxuan smashed his notepad on the seat and pushed open the door to get off. After seeing Jiang Xianer's notepad, Chu Tianxuan was very angry. The good days of Jiang Xianer's woman are over. She really thinks his boss is so good that she feels like a pig. In the hospital, the sleeping Jiang Xianer suddenly had a dream that Chu Tianxuan was smiling at her, which made her feel a little scared. Jiang Xianer woke up from her sleep. She didn't know how she suddenly dreamed of Chu Tianxuan. She felt that the dream was very bad. When she woke up, Jiang Xianer was no longer sleepy. She raised her hand and looked at the time. She only slept for less than an hour. She saw her mother sleeping in the doctor's bed, help her cover the quilt, pick up the blanket she brought from home, put it on her body, and then continue to sleep. She has to go to work tomorrow. She has to sleep if she is not sleepy. Otherwise, tomorrow's work can't be completed on time. The next morning, as soon as Liang Mushi woke up and saw a video sent to her by someone who didn't know on her mobile phone, she looked at it with disapproval. In the video, Chu Tianxuan appeared at a cocktail party with a woman. It seems that this woman should be his girlfriend. Liang Mushi looked at Chu Tianxuan taking other women to the cocktail party and swept all the things on the cabinet to the ground. She is Chu Tianxuan's future wife. Why doesn't he come to her and go with him? Who is this woman his? In what capacity did he accompany Chu Tianxuan to the reception? Liang Mushi came up with some bad relationships in his head. She is a young lady who has nothing to do all day. She likes to think and suspect. She can't see that Chu Tianxuan is surrounded by other women. Liang Mushi was very upset early in the morning and decided to go to Shengtian Group to find Chu Tianxuan and ask him what the relationship between this woman and him was. Although they have not been formally engaged, it is a fact that they have been engaged since childhood. Besides, engagement is also a matter of time. Where does Chu Tianxuan put their faces in the Liang family? He didn't take her fiancé seriously and took other women with him in public. Liang Mushi got up to brush his teeth and wash, dressed himself beautifully and made himself a delicate makeup. Sitting in front of the dressing table, Liang Mushi looked at herself in the mirror. Her beautiful face made her feel very proud. Where can the woman in the video compare with her? Liang Mushi really doesn't know when Chu Tianxuan's eyes became so bad. Put on a set of the latest dress. Liang Mushi took a picture in front of the mirror and felt very satisfied. Although she is very thin, she has a very good figure, with a convex front and a tilted back. In this way, she looks good in a skirt. Liang Mushi smiled to his satisfaction in the mirror, and then came downstairs. Liang father, Liang mother and Liang Tianwei had breakfast in the restaurant. As soon as Liang Mushi came downstairs, the servant respectfully greeted him, "Good morning, miss." Liang Mushi just walked proudly and didn't respond to the servant. At this time, Liang's mother saw her baby daughter downstairs and showed a gentle smile on her face. "Sheer, I got up so early. Come and have breakfast. I asked Luma to make you your favorite millet porridge," Liang's mother said and took a bowl out for Liang Mushi. Liang Mushi walked slowly towards the table with her 10-centimeter high heels. "Dad, Mom, brother, good morning." Liang Mushi greeted several people sitting at the table politely. "Good morning, Mushi," Liang Tianwei replied. "Thank you, Mom." Liang Mushi took the porridge from Liang's mother. In this family, Liang Mushi's parents and eldest brother all love her and take care of her in every way. As long as she puts forward the requirements and they can do it, they will try their best to meet her. Liang Mushi's capricious and spoiled temper are used to by the Liang family. Mushi, are you going out because you are so beautifully dressed today? Liang Tianwei looks sideways at his sister and asks softly. Tianwei, what's your name? Your sister is not beautiful any day. Liang's mother sitting opposite looked at her proud daughter and couldn't close her mouth with a smile. Liang's mother felt very lucky to have such a good pair of children. Her son was gentle and handsome, and listened to them very much. Her daughter was slim and graceful. This is also how many people have broken through the threshold of their Liang family and want to enter their Liang family as their daughter-in-law and son-in-law. Yes. Brother, am I beautiful today? Liang Mushi is very dissatisfied with Liang Tianwei's words. No. I mean you're so beautiful today that even the stars on TV can't compare with you. His sister likes to listen to these compliments. Hee. Hearing his brother praising himself so much, Liang Mushi was even more happy. By the way, Dad. I'll go to Shengtian Group to find Tianxuan after breakfast. My car has been repaired. I'll drive the car in the garage. Can you change it? Okay, my baby daughter can drive whatever car she wants, as long as you are happy. Liang Fu said spoiled. He loved the daughter more than his son. He remembered that when he gave birth to the daughter, he was happy and didn't sleep for several days. He held her all the time. His precious daughter, they are afraid of melting in their mouth and falling in their hands. They really spoil her. Thank you, Dad. Although Liang Mushi was spoiled, she still knew how to respect people in front of her parents. Mom and Dad are so kind to her. No matter what happens, Liang Mushi will tell her parents. By the way, Sheer, when you go to find Tianxuan, remember to take a message to him and say that he will have dinner with his parents one day. We haven't sat together for a long time. Liang's father charged Liang Mushi. Dad, I'll tell Tian soon. Liang Mushi finished a bowl of millet porridge and went out with his bag. Chu Tianxuan went to the company early in the morning. He was still angry about several paintings in Jiang Xian's notepad. Because of this, he didn't sleep well last night. He spent the whole night thinking about how to deal with Jiang Xian.